This is Behind the Coffee, podcast by Grey Soul Coffee Roasters. I'm Chirag, your host and roast master. Sit back and enjoy.
Strolling along, just minding my business, humming a song. I'm happy by myself, not a care in the world.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fourth episode of Behind the Coffee, a podcast talk show by Grey Soul Coffee Roasters. Welcome, everyone. Today we have again an important guest with us who has made the journey all the way from Sikkim for this podcast episode. With all my heart, I welcome Mr. Sangpo Tenzing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming here. I think we have been planning this podcast for about 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you could finally make it. So happy to sit across the table and discuss coffee or Indian specialty coffee with you.
Same here. Yeah.
If you can just introduce yourself briefly to our audience, that would be great.
Okay. So my name is Sangpo Tenzing. So I have been doing coffee, particularly farming and also roasting and processing and retailing for last 6 to 7 years now.
Okay.
So before that, I was into investment banking for around 7 to 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
I was with GH Financials.
Okay.
It's a UK-based company. So I worked as a derivatives trader, particularly short-term derivatives, and then I got into risk management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after that, I was actually planning for another studies abroad, but it didn't really work out. And then I got into hotel business and restaurant business and cafe business.
Why is it always like all of us who are into coffee have a completely different background or a occupation altogether? So what made you change from investment banking all the way to coffee?
So I think my hotel business was just an accidental, because I think that happened in Delhi. So I was actually planning for this, which is another MBA. So I had an MBA in international business from Shriram College of Commerce, Delhi. And after that, I again because it's a tradition, right? Because when you have enough experience in maybe any of your specific domain, then you again work out for something else in abroad. So which was the culture before, and then I also thought I should try the same. So, but it didn't really work out because I really couldn't crack GMAT to a good score.
Are you glad it did not work out?
Yeah, I'm glad that maybe because for a reason I think this happened. So I'm glad that I'm here today because of coffee. So yeah, after that I got into hotel and property, a little bit of business. Then cafe is something which is happening everywhere, and then I started the first cafe called the Local Cafe in Sikkim.
The local cafe.
Yeah, the local cafe. So we kept it local cafe because because we get a lot of tourists in Sikkim, and there's actually a huge demand for local cuisines.
Okay.
And then whoever comes there, they'll ask where I can get a good local food. So keeping that in mind, I actually, we named it as Local Cafe, and we actually serve some local food, and also designed it such a way that it gives like Sikkim or like Tibet or like that Himalayan feeling inside the cafe setup. So that kind of clicked really well. And,
so where exactly in Sikkim?
It's in MG Mark. So it's one of the prime market in Sikkim. So we have this first outlet, very small outlet. We have only 3 tables. So that really did well. And but we also did it with a lot of detailing in how to structure this. And
Just 3 tables?
Yeah, just 3 tables.
Nice.
So this did really well, and that's, I think, kind of inspired me to do something more than just a cafe.
Okay.
And even with my wife, so we thought, what is next? And then we thought, if we can do something related in this industry, it could be good. So we thought that we should do coffee. And after which we traveled to Vietnam to study about coffee. And in my first to second trip, we just studied about how the coffee culture in Vietnam, and how they produce the best Robusta coffee, and then after that I enrolled for a course for roasting in my third trip to Vietnam.
Okay.
And I also did green coffee by Specialty Coffee Association.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I learned some some techniques in coffee, and then for the production side, so I hired a guy to because since I wanted to do the production part of the coffee, so since this is a very technical field,
Yes.
not just
Of course.
what you want to do. I think you should know what you want to do, and you should see how really it can be possible or not, because
Yes.
you need to, because Sikkim as a state, we never had coffee at a commercial level.
Okay.
I think though they had some, maybe maybe a tree or maybe a two tree in our family, because I think maybe by
Yeah, it's not an abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see kg and kg of coffee.
yeah, so that was not there. So I hired one guy from Australia who has worked extensively in South African countries and also in China to really start and establish coffee farming at a commercial level. So he worked. His name is called Trips.
Okay.
Louis Tripp. So he's from Australia, and he worked with me for around 2 years. So
So you got him on board for the roasting bit of the business.
not more in that farming side. So how to build nursery, how should we germinate the seed, and what kind.
So from cafe you went to roasting, and then from roasting you went to farming.
Yeah,
But for farming, did you always have land, or you went on to procure land, or it was your generational?
So no, I think land is initially we had only we worked with farmers. So how did we started it is like I have seen that we did some research in Sikkim also. So I found some farmers, maybe 1 or 2 families, they have some coffee, and then later I also found out that this one guy called Bandari in Sikkim, so he has done some sapling also, and he has planted some trees in his farmland, and from which he has some fruits also. So I saw that, because I actually deployed some university students to do some research around Sikkim, and after which I came to know that there are some trees around and people have started something, but did not really continue it at a commercial.
Okay. So you help these local farmers
Yeah.
make it more commercial or make it more better.
Yeah, so then I started working with these farmers who already has some coffee and who knows about coffee, and then we started nursery at their farm. I paid for the land, and then I hired this guy to build because they have done it, but it's for them. It's like they take it very like any other crop, right? So now we need someone who knows some technical part of it, not just coffee. So what kind of seed that you can grow?
Of course.
So how you should structure the germination pad, and when can you transplant them in the pot, and then from the pot how you should keep them under the nursery. So there are so many technicalities involved in germinating a seed, and how can we acquire seed, good seed, healthy seed. So that is, in that respect, most of the I think technicalities or help I got through him, and that's how I observed probably. So even if, for example, for the germination pad also, what we normally do is we normally do it in sand, not in the soil.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I have seen this in some South African countries. They do this not in normal soil as soil, but they do it in sand. So sand, which we normally use for construction, but it should be a little more coarse than that.
Okay.
And then we put on the ground we put plastics, and on the top we maybe put around few inches of those sand, and just put the seed and cover it with some plastics.
Nice.
And then I think the whole idea is to because we will not get disease from the soil. And second thing, actually it is very soft, so it will come out very fast.
So how does that help? Like
Because
it speeds up the process.
if the soil means it's tight, right?
Okay.
Sometimes it becomes tight. If the sand means it is like soft. So and even if when you put water, it goes through very well
Of course.
to the ground. Okay, and because of which I think it kind of germinates faster. And then also you won't get so much of wheat in the germination pad. Otherwise, if you do it in soil, you get a lot of wheat inside the germination pad, and sometimes these wheat actually disturbs the growth of these plants. So that's also something that and after that, after putting the seed, then we actually mulch it with the straw and put cover of plastics.
Okay.
So that is how it structures, which I have never seen in my life. So that is also something I learned and which I'm practicing right now by myself. And even when you are maybe after a few months, maybe 3 months, when you get 2 leaves from the seed, then you start transplanting them in the pot.
Yeah. I think in coffee, germination is something that is not talked about a lot. Because generally, even when I visit the plantations, you already have the plants that are blossoming and giving you the cherries. So this step before everything is something that very few people know. I'm glad you brought that up.
So I think this is very important. Not just I think how you structure the germination pad, and also the seed, from where you are acquiring the seed and how you are structuring the germination, and when you are transplanting them, and when you transplant them in the pot, how you are mixing the soil. So what is the structure of your soil in the pot, and how frequently you are watering those baby plants.
What would be the timing? 3 to 4 years?
So after germination, so we normally do the germination somewhere around in December to January.
Okay.
And then maybe around March to April, you will get at least leaves, and then you just transplant in the pot, and these plants will be ready next July.
Okay.
So basically, the plant should be at least 1.5 feet, or it should be at least 1.5 years old when you are planting them in the field. Because otherwise, actually, they will not be very resilient to the microplanetary condition if you grow them at very young age. I have seen people actually growing after just transplanting them from the nursery. You just germination bed, you just plant them. So I think the survival rate is very low in that case. Then I think that is very important. Then even when you are doing the plantation, also you should also see the maybe composition of the soil, the aspect of the land. That there's so many other technical aspects.
That's why I said, I'm glad you're talking about it, because that's not a process of coffee that usually is spoken about.
So I'm glad to share this. Though I know very less, but still I think it helps a lot, and that is I think that is where we need some changes, and that is where we can really actually, not just as a roaster or maybe a coffee business. I think that this is the foundation. That is the whole system. From where we will get the good coffee, right? So of course, right now we have so many people jumping into it, but still, people not really go to that level to really work. It's just not.
Like I always say, you need to understand everything right from the beginning till the final cup in order to understand the coffee in itself better. Yeah, you're right. So. Like I said, usually everyone getting into coffee I've seen has a different background altogether. So you've proved the theory, right?
I've seen people, so many people have.
Second of all, I think it's always you tend to start roasting first, or understanding the crop from a roasting perspective, and then I think you first you learn about farming, then roasting, and then cafe. In your case, I think it was the first cafe and then roasting and then farming.
Yeah.
So that is where again you had a little bit of a unique journey, I guess.
Yeah. So I think with me, cafe and then roasting and the farming, I think farming went maybe a little ahead of roasting, but I learned roasting first. And in fact, before I had my roasting machine, I used to buy, because see, I already have some farmers, right, who has some coffee, and I used to buy them at really good rate, because though I didn't have that time earlier also, that time in peeler polish also, but I used to stop them, because just to encourage them that now whatever you have, I can just buy. Whether it can 5 kg, 10 kg or 50 kg, it doesn't matter to me. So I will make sure that how much ever hard work you have put in every bean, I'll make sure that you'll be paid for that.
Oh.
And that is how I, in fact, may have kept some beans for maybe around 2 years, without roasting them, but I kept those in cherry, and we, after dried it properly, we kept them in those green plastic airtight one. So I think I have almost used all of those coffee, and it went quite well, the journey. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Let me ask you another question. Let's talk more about where you come from and the whole perspective of coffee in Sikkim, because like you said, it is not that commercial yet, like Chikmagalur is or Coorg is or Tamil Nadu is. So can you tell us about coffee and Sikkim and coffee growing in Sikkim?
Coffee is something that I think has fascinated so many people after a certain lifestyle. So, I think we all have maybe started coffee, maybe because we like the coffee, or maybe you think that it is a promising crop. So even in the world, they call it as a hero crop.
Oh,
yeah. So which now, in fact, people think that it can maybe perform better than oil. So this is, some views. I'm just sharing it. I don't know really how much far it is true.
okay.
So with me,
See, after all, it's one of the most consumed beverages in the world.
in the world. So and even when you look at the industry, maybe demand and supply side, so you can also have some answers out of this. So with me, coffee. First, coffee. So coffee, it's a very emotional product.
Okay.
For me, it's emotional because it has, farmers connected to it. Simple farmers, life, who has spent night and day looking after them, and may not have got the best price for the crop, for the hard work.
Yeah, what farmers say, this is my child, I've taken care of the plant for a year. Yeah.
And then I think what I strongly feel is that people who are doing coffee should be like coffee.
Okay.
So it means that I think we should be more humanistic. You should actually be more sensitive about community, more sensitive about social element, more sensitive about some philosophy in their life, more than business or more than anything,
Okay.
So I think we should go beyond it. So with me, I felt so strong and so actually fascinated about coffee because I love actually working with farmers, and I really wanted to experience that minimal life, simple life, but still very satisfied life. And I love actually working with plant, going to the forest and enjoying with plant, because actually plant gives you a lot of joy. Yeah, because when you see those coffee maybe trees growing from the scratch, and maybe when you see their leaves shining, and being more robust, and also, so even if you keep plant at home, it gives you joy. So that means when you're doing this at a bigger level, so I think it excites you. And then you also know that the community effect, because it will, let's say if you can build something at scratch level and if so many farmers can take it, one thing, it is a very resilient plant, which doesn't need so much of care. It needs care, but not of so much of care, and it will give you, I think, good returns for the farmers if the people who are buying them, feel reasonably, good to pay a good premium for them, and which we should. I think this is something that whoever is doing specialty coffee or good company, I think they should make sure that they are paid well. And I think if you pay them well, I think we all will prosper.
Okay.
Yeah. So and Sikkim coffee. Okay. So Sikkim. So I think Sikkim coffee is one of my first Himalayano project.
Okay.
So Himalaya.
How much do you think Sikkim is producing?
Right now, as of today, it's very less, because most of the farmers are linked to us.
Okay.
There are some farmers maybe who are doing independently, but most of the farmers are with us, and I think max to max we may have around 5,000 kgs of coffee.
Okay.
So it is still very less.
6 tons of coffee.
Yeah. So my whole idea is to now to produce the best coffee, and
That's more important.
Yeah, to produce and because of which I'm not only working with farmers, so I have started my own estate.
Okay.
Basically, the whole idea is to really take care of my plant and make sure that they, technically we have some technical approach in terms of farming practices like putting manure, pruning, watering, so looking after the disease. Okay, so if you do this, and even not just I'm eating fruit, then after you get fruit, post harvest management,
Okay.
storage. So if all these things are under you, I think you will be in a better position to control the quality.
And very few people I've seen have the liberty or the capability to have an end-to-end management system on the farm. Very few farms I've visited would have a depulper and the farm and the post-processing unit. So, but yes, it gives you a lot of control. Like from a roasting perspective also, if I have a moisture meter, if I can figure out the density, and then I have a sample roaster, a main roaster, and then cupping, then it gives us more independence and probably more clarity on the crop as well. I agree. So you have that entire system?
So yeah, we have almost all the systems actually now. So definitely, I think farming is something that I would really work on, not just for the coffee as coffee, but a really good coffee. And there is actually a lot of strong demand for coffee from Sikkim or Sikkim coffee, so which is from the first organic state of India. And then we also have a lot of demand for coffee from other Himalayan bands also. So my whole idea about the Himalayano enterprise or the Himalayano project.
I was going to ask you about that only. Like, I know your company name is Himalayano Enterprise. So you mentioned something about the Himalayan belt. So what exactly is this enterprise?
So Himalayano, actually I started, it got registered maybe around 4 to 5 years back.
Okay.
But so Sikkim being one of the state where we are and where we started. So started everything from the scratch. So Sikkim, and then otherwise it would come like Himalayano and Sikkim coffee. But through the journey that I learned that I think I should also keep Sikkim as a separate brand, Sikkim coffee, because everybody knows Sikkim.
So Sikkim, for the audience who does not know, Sikkim Coffee Roasters is your brand.
Yeah.
As in you sell Sikkim coffee.
Yeah.
And Himalayano project is something else.
Yeah. So Himalayano will also cover Sikkim coffee.
Okay.
Because now next time, it will be Himalayano. So it will be whole branding will be different. But this coffee will be Sikkim, and some other packet will be from Nagaland, and some other coffee from.
So what is that project about?
So this is all about developing coffee from Himalayan regions.
Okay.
And actually not developing in the sense helping the farmers. So we already have some coffee from that region, and I think you already know because I used to source some, and
basically the independent farmers.
Yeah, independent.
So do they need more help in terms of post processing, or they need help in terms of growing and taking care of the crop as well?
I think to build that whole coffee in that region, I think we need helps at all the levels.
All levels.
Yeah, because not just they get some help from government, but still I think government lacks in terms of technicalities, right? So I think if you really wanted to do like a good coffee from that whole region, which is the purpose of my project. So this is the first maybe company in India which is aggregating Himalayan coffee.
So how far are you? When did the journey start? What is your goal?
So the journey started, Himalayano is that I imagined, or I actually, I envisioned before Sikkim coffee.
Okay.
So Himalayano, but Sikkim being the first project place, so which will come under Himalayano, but Sikkim as a state, it is organic and it has its credentials, and in terms of branding also everybody knows Sikkim. So I thought that even in my packet, if you see it's written Sikkim coffee, a Himalayano product.
Understood.
So it's not written Himalayano and Sikkim.
Understood.
So then I thought that because see, sometimes when you do something in the journey, you sometimes try to understand something and you just implement it. So in my case, I also thought that Sikkim itself is like, it's very, the name is very simple and everybody knows Sikkim, and that it's like Darjeeling tea. So for Sikkim coffee, I have a vision in few years down the line, it should become popular and more popular than Darjeeling tea.
Okay.
Because see, the whole culture of tea is like shifting to coffee. So now that, and it is from the same region, and not just same region, and Sikkim is the India's first organic state, so that organic is also there.
Of course.
And it's not just by saying, it is fact. And even the world, they accept that many, I think, people in the world also, they understand the Sikkim is organic. Even if you Google it.
How would you differentiate an organic grown coffee with a non-organic grown coffee?
So organic ground coffee means, even at my farm, we have never used any chemicals till now.
Okay.
And this is a very prevalent practice all across Sikkim. So they have never used any chemicals in their farming. So that means they are only using either cow dung or cow urine.
Okay.
Yeah. So or you create biodiversity in the farm so that the plant grows naturally by taking support of each other. So even at our farm, we have implemented, which is not just we have implemented, it is actually by law of Sikkim, the state as organic state, we can't use chemicals. So Sikkim is organic, and I thought that this would also help my brand as organic coffee from India more than anything else. I think otherwise, if we look at the whole coffee producing region in India, I think many of them have, because it's used conventional farming, right? So I think now many of them are also, I think, trying to convert it regenerative farming, or you call it organic farming or natural.
Okay.
So which is, I think, important, because the chemical free thing. Because
regenerative means reusing of the water. Or?
So regenerative is basically you are generating more nutrient to the soil rather than taking nutrient from the soil. That means you are planting, let's say, if I have to build my estate, I will make sure that I will not cut any trees. I will definitely, this what we exactly have done when we structuring or when we creating the estate. So basically you cut the ground cover crops, ground cover grasses, and then you see the landscape, and whatever is vegetation there, maybe tree, these are all local trees, right? You don't cut them, you keep it as there. That means you are not disturbing the biodiversity around. And rather than that, you could put more, local trees, so that the trees will get shade, and will also create microbes which are good for the plant, and also it will also act as wind blockers. So there are so many, I think, benefit the coffee tree will get through the other trees or through other crops around.
So this is happening all across Sikkim.
Yeah, this is already there. In case Sikkim coffee, actually we are trying to build a model of regenerative farming, not just in coffee. So we will also cultivate other crops, and we'll see how we can structure this and how we can take it to some level. So
I've heard about it, but even I was not aware of it.
Yeah,
to that extent.
So I'm actually really keen to regenerative way of doing farming in Sikkim, and so that not just people or farmers in Sikkim can actually see the model that we are doing, and also maybe we can replicate those models in other Himalayan belt where we will be working. I have already started working.
So what are the other regions that you're reaching out to and helping?
So right now we are also working in Nagaland. So Nagaland also, we have some farmers with whom we are actually giving them some seed also, so that they can germinate those. Also, we give support to them, maybe to build nurseries also. So
where do you get the seeds from? I know that Coffee Board of India also does help, but then if a producer has to buy a coffee seed, then where exactly do you buy from?
So I do source from Coffee Board only. Coffee, yeah, because I think which is recommended.
Okay.
So it is till now. I think till now, whatever seed that I have got through Coffee Board I think they grown well. It actually the saplings are good and healthy. Yeah.
Nice.
So we take it from there also, and I used to do some sourcing from Nepal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I should try them so that I can have different variations of maybe like coffee in a farm. So because it's also important to have a very diversified portfolio.
Of course.
So of maybe of different varieties.
Different varieties.
Yeah.
I always say like different varieties definitely matter a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Great. So Nagaland, Sikkim,
And Shillong,
okay.
and then maybe very soon we will be working in Arunachal.
Okay.
So the whole idea is to build the coffee economy all around that belt and help them to produce good coffee and market them at a national and international level, and give them technical know-how to process good coffee and harvest it properly and plant them properly. So I think we already have people who are working on our behalf. I already have a lady. She looks after the before the pre-harvesting and after harvesting in Assam and other regions. So she's a retired retired officer from Coffee Board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like the point where you mentioned that you derive joy when you go see a plant or you visit the farm. I remember you shared a video with me last month wherein you were walking down the farm and then your shoes and your socks were all filled with eels.
Yeah.
They were just gathered on your shoe. I've shown the video to a couple of people and they're like, we can't watch it. So I'm glad you're taking that as a experience, and like you said, it's also rewarding and also gives you joy,
Yeah.
which very few people can say, I guess.
I think many people talk about organic farming and community. So I think we should really go ourselves and see what exactly is organic farming and how it is done and how it can be developed further. Because actually, that is the future.
I'm seeing you soon later this year.
Yeah, because that is the future now. Because and then actually see whatever I'm producing, I'm getting price, and not just price. I'm also getting this. That's benefit in terms of happiness. Because you just enjoy what you are doing.
Of course.
And I also know, because definitely there'll be a lot of people who would want to do it. I think if you think that you want to do it, I think you just do it. Yeah, so that is very important. And otherwise, see, I think in few years down the line, we will have so many people who will get into this. So, and there'll be prize war.
So you're talking about the farm level or the roasting level?
At roasting level, even at I think business level. Because see, I actually used to get a lot of phone calls for coffee, and then I don't have enough supply. Right, and right now it's just a start.
Yeah, of course.
So I think we should have a community who can really work at that farm level also, because that is, and then see, even because if farmers are not paid, I have seen people cut their trees also.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned this on the last episode or something, but on my last visit, I saw a lot of farmers uprooting Arabica and then planting more Robusta, because they're like, we don't have to take care of it, and then it gives us the price and keeps the farm afloat. So yeah, we definitely have to avoid that.
Yeah, I think so. We should really, I think, and then I think if you do farming, it is challenging, but it's more liberating. Yeah, because and it is. If it is challenging, means it is, I think, rewarding. It is. I think, but you should take the challenge. And then I just forgot to mention about the leech story. So, yeah, this is
leeches.
Yeah, leeches. Yeah, leeches story. So whenever we go into the forest, especially during rainy season, I mean, at my initial time, so the leech used to be quite scary. But still, I think we protect ourselves by covering our legs with.
Like I said, I remember
which I dipped in salt, but still you get a lot of leeches, and when you walk around, you will see the itches. Once actually, I was in the jungle and we were just clearing the grass and trying to do the landscaping. So when I came down, I saw almost like 20 to 25 leeches on my feet, which felt scary, but I liked it also, and I felt quite proud of myself, because. And I also, at the same time, I also felt that it's good that they also had some blood from me, and they may have enjoyed that.
So despite the layers of sock and the
of
sort,
course.
still they were able to.
Yeah, because initially when they comes onto your feet, you will not even see those. They are as thin as our hair, and once they actually get filled with blood, and once they're really filled, means they will actually just they'll just come off because they are so full, and they will like become little less than this thick. Can you imagine that they'll be just filled with blood? So once I was just opening my socks, I saw like it's like if you have seen some movies, with a lot of snakes around. So it was like that only. But still, I felt it's okay. But it was like quite.
I'm going to stitch the video that.
Yeah, maybe next time.
This podcast.
Yeah, maybe I think we can be and this is not just just a video. It's about how when you want to do something really organic and really something good and at a ground level, and how hard and enjoyable at the same time to just explore the jungle and experience the whole experience of lifetime maybe.
You just came back from United States. So my question to you is, what do you think Sikkim coffee in general or Indian specialty coffee as whole, where does it stand abroad outside India? What do you think is the future? On your last visit, did everyone know about it? Did they try? How was the response? Where do you see Indian specialty coffee taking a stand abroad?
I think it's a very good question.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely, I think people who has taken maybe some professional maybe like coffee course or maybe test, they may, I don't know, I think some may have noticed. So now when you do like those cupping and maybe triangulation or maybe rose ID, so I think now we do also get some coffee from Asia, which in India also, naturals.
Okay.
So otherwise, I think I was told that it should be mostly like Ethiopia, and then some South African countries.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe Indonesia.
Yeah.
So now we can see also Indian coffees on those tests, which are selected by Coffee Quality Institute, which means that people have already accepted and they are accepting that, and they know that they should accept now because it is growing. Its popularity is growing, and also it is considered as a shade-grown coffee.
Yes.
And natural coffee. So I have seen that, and even they talk about India a lot when I was there for my training. So I think Indian coffee definitely has have people now started knowing about it, and also has a market even in global competitive market. It's just that I think we need to work just not just money, it's I think really in terms of quality. And I'm actually I'm quite glad that now see people like you are also into getting into coffee. You have a really good background and like me, and there's so many of us are actually getting. It's a new generation of people
Yes, that is true.
coffee, and I think that point kind of excite me, and I think we have a really good future, and I think it will. People, I think, from other countries would also appreciate, and then they would definitely come to India, and I think really appreciate coffee flavors from India, which is more of a natural.
I think it's our responsibility as roasters also to make sure that we take the product global, and it's brewed in every cafe or probably every household, or we as a brand, Graceful Coffee Roasters. Have to go global and then make a mark there. So it's important, and also like you rightfully said, we have the quality, we have a great product, we have a great final cup. It's time that everyone tries and feels the same about it.
And I think each of us, if those are not just mathematics but also the technical part of it, probably I think we are on maybe a good board. So I think, and we will have so many other people who would also come on the board, and we'll just, flout it. So I think we have a good future, and I would definitely, I mean, request all the people who are coffee community, to be really, caring about the farmers, and if we can really structure something so that the way farmers are paid well. And we also, I think beyond just in terms of maths, but I think beyond some social value, or maybe some at a community level, how we can bring change all together, and how can really make a good coffee. Because I think if you have good product, if your goal is beyond coffee, then I think the monetary part will, I think, just follow you.
Yeah, it will just follow. It said. So, which region do you prefer? Like, which one is your favorite region of which you like the coffee? Yeah.
My favorite region, maybe, I think Chikmagalur is also good, and South Indian coffees are great. I think we have some really good people who are really seriously doing those coffee to a level where we should be doing it. So I think we should learn from them, and I'm also sure that maybe coffee from Sikkim will also, I think, be popular. Yeah, if we do the, not just the mass part, if we can go to the ground level works properly, and if we can really, as one of the first pioneers in, I think, Sikkim for the coffee, I have a big responsibility. So to make Sikkim coffee popular, and I also kept Sikkim because tomorrow, if anybody produce any coffee from any regions in Sikkim, they will also benefit, because there's already a brand for Sikkim coffee. So if I market to some level of quality, then they will also benefit. So that is why it is called Sikkim coffee. So tomorrow you can say that, okay, XYZ from Sikkim, so it's same.
Yeah, okay. So it's not organized like it's there in South India. Like, there are different regions. Let's say there is Chikmagalur. In Chikmagalur you have Babu Budangiri Hills. Then you have Sakleshpur. Then you have Belur. Then you have. So, is it like that in Sikkim? Is it region specific? Is it estate specific?
This will come, because right now it is just initial.
Okay.
It's still at a very initial stage, right? Okay. So definitely tomorrow, maybe Sikkim coffee estate will have the best coffee, or maybe some XYZ estate maybe have the best coffee, or maybe some region from like Malli. So Malli coffees are quite good, which I have actually given to you. So Malli people are actually considered to be very hardworking and very enterprising. So in Malli you find a lot of farmers who are involved in doing business at their farm level. So maybe the Malli will also become very famous. So I think this will come through the years, I think. Yeah.
Great. Any last piece of advice, or you want to tell something to the audience? You said something about the community bit and how we need to do something. You have any ideas? You have any suggestions about how anyone could be a part of your mission?
Yeah, I think first I will thank you for this great opportunity. And I came to know about Grey Soul through a traveler in Sikkim.
Oh,
and he highly recommended this cafe, and it's not just it's a fact. So my son studies in Pune. So one time when I was actually coming back with my wife, we said that we should definitely visit Grey Soul Coffee, and we enjoyed the really good cappuccino, and that was the first time that I was here, and I was here for, I think, twice, and but I couldn't meet you. I asked I think staff, even this one, I think your customer is very regular. I saw him today also, the tall guy.
Okay.
So it's a good experience. And then I met you at World Coffee Conference. And that was the first time I met you.
Yes,
and we had a short, we had a short conversation, and then I think we kind of exchanged a message. And Grey Soul is one of the first, I think, is the first cafe to whom I supplied Sikkim coffee, and also some of the finest beans from Nagaland and from Assam, which I have processed myself with my own hand, and it has been processed so well. So because actually the whole idea is not just because, and then okay, second thing that because I wanted to tell you is that Himalayano is all about, so there's only one philosophy with that brand. Okay, so that brand is compassion. So it's all about compassion. So in whole like business, maybe it be concept, product, or culture. So it will be all about compassion. So you do the good things for not just for this life, for the next life. So it's about coffee and compassion is Himalayano. So which I think Google says privacy. So it's compassion is Himalayano. And so I'm happy and glad that I'm here, and I look forward to working with you in future to develop these regions and promote these coffee, or not just Himalayan coffee or something.
Yeah.
So we will promote all the coffees, and all the people are working for the coffee in these regions, and we should make sure that they are happy. And without middlemen, if we can really structure something which could benefit farmers, I think that would be the best blessing for them. Yeah,
Great. We're all in this together. And I've already joined the mission.
Yeah. You already mentioned that you would be interested to do any help to promote coffee from Himalayan Valley or any like community project that we start. So I'm happy that Graysoul Coffee is one of the first roaster that bought coffee from us, and through which I think it helped so many other farmers also. Even with us, the structure is that I'll pay them whatever the best price that I could pay, and second thing, they will also get some price from my margin. So that is the structure how we would build it with the farmers, so that we have a shared model system there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Would like to thank you again on behalf of everyone.
You're most welcome.
On behalf of everyone at Graysoul Coffee Roasters. Thank you so much. Probably this is not the last episode. We'll do many more.
Yeah.
Thank you
Definitely,
again for coming.
definitely. Thank you so much. And thanks for your team, and thanks to you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. This was episode 4 of Behind the Coffee Graysoul Coffee Roasters. I'll see you in the next episode. And as a brand, Graysoul Coffee Roasters has some really exciting news that we would like to share soon. A lot is happening on our end. Stay tuned.